Is green tea anti-inflammatory? That's exactly what we're going to try to find out in this video. We're going to take a look at the green tea anti-inflammatory properties to see why this tea might be able to reduce chronic inflammation. Let's get started. So before we answer, is green tea anti-inflammatory, we have to first understand inflammation. Let's briefly explain what inflammation is and the two types of inflammation you might experience. So inflammation is like your body's defense system. When something harmful, like germs or injuries, tries to hurt you, your body fights back. It does this by making the affected area red, swollen, hot, or painful. These short-term developments are called acute inflammation, but there can also be chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation is when your body's defense system stays on for a really long time, like months or years. It's not as easy to see as when you have a cut or a fever. This long-lasting inflammation can be related to certain health problems like obesity and autoimmune disorders. So this is where green tea might be able to come into play. If we want to understand why is green tea anti-inflammatory, we have to take a look at the different compounds like catechins, polyphenols, flavonoids, theanine, and caffeine. In the next section, we'll cover each of these in greater detail. Here are the 5 different green tea anti-inflammatory properties. First, we have catechins. Green tea is rich in catechins, particularly epigallocatechin gallate, or EGCG, which is one of the most potent and well-studied catechins. EGCG has been shown to have anti-inflammatory effects by inhibiting the production of pro-inflammatory cytokines and reducing the activity of inflammatory enzymes. Next, we have polyphenols. Green tea is also a rich source of polyphenols, which are natural antioxidants with anti-inflammatory properties. These polyphenols can help neutralize free radicals and reduce oxidative stress, which is often associated with chronic inflammation. Flavonoids. Flavonoids are a group of bioactive compounds that are present in green tea, and they can have anti-inflammatory effects. These flavonoids may help modulate the immune response and reduce inflammation in the body. Next, we have theanine. Theanine is an amino acid in green tea that has been shown to have anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. It may help to reduce inflammation by inhibiting the expression of inflammatory genes and suppressing the activation of certain immune cells. Finally, we have caffeine. While green teas tend to be much lower in caffeine than coffee, all green teas contain some level of caffeine. Caffeine is typically associated with its stimulating effects, but it can also have mild anti-inflammatory properties. In moderation, caffeine may help reduce inflammation by inhibiting the activity of certain inflammatory pathways. So what are the best teas you can drink to unlock the anti-inflammatory benefits? Here are a few of our favorites. First, we have matcha. Matcha powder is made from powdered green tea leaves. These leaves are shaded for 3 weeks before the harvest in order to develop a smoother and sweeter flavor with less bitterness. Shaded leaves also produce more theanine and caffeine, which can be one of the green tea anti-inflammatory properties. The reason that matcha is usually at the top of any list when it comes to health benefits is that when you mix it into water, you're consuming the entire leaf, along with all of its catechins, caffeine, theanine, polyphenols, and more. Next, we have sencha. Sencha tea is another good green tea to drink if you're concerned with inflammation. This is the most popular type of green tea in Japan, but that doesn't mean that it's not loaded with health benefits. Sencha is exceptionally high in catechins, which, as we discussed before, is one of green tea's anti-inflammatory properties. Finally, we have gyokuro. Gyokuro is sometimes referred to as the emperor's tea because it used to be the tea of choice for the emperor himself. Just like matcha, gyokuro is shaded for 3 weeks before the harvest in order to develop its intense, sweet and savory flavor. This tea is high in both caffeine and theanine, making it the perfect tea for long periods of work and study. Gyokuro drinkers report having a longer-lasting, calm, alert feeling that lasts throughout the day, without the crash or the jitters you might get from a coffee. If you want to try any of these teas, you can find them on our website, neoteas.com. After traveling around Japan for the past few years, we've met with dozens of different farmers and sampled hundreds of different types of teas. We've ultimately selected a small list of our favorites, and we're so happy to share them with all of you, with free shipping worldwide. We would really appreciate it if you could support this channel by going to neoteas.com and trying some tea out for yourself. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you next time.